Hi, in this video we will learn how to create a API in our awesome enterprise website. So we will be able to consume that API in our app.js. This app.js, you can see we have mentioned the API URL over here. So this API is responsible to load the web view actually. So the API will give us a response, and from the response we will get the web view URL and how this that's how this app is being loaded. So first let's look into the thing that how we can create this API. So in this React Native skeleton, you can see that there is a folder called aw underscore xml underscore exports. So in this folder, you can see a file called awesome api app.xml. So basically what we have to do is that we have to create a app in our enterprise website, and an awesome app. That's what I'm saying. You have to create an awesome app and you have to import this XML file. So uh, this is my app called API. So I'm calling it as API, and the modules collection is API underscore modules. And you have to make sure that the modules underscore modules collection is which is in my case is API underscore modules, and it should match in this XML file. So as you can see that it is matching here with the post. So in your case, if you are using a different module collection, don't worry, just make sure that the post type in this XML file is API underscore module. So you can simply search and replace with your module collection. And once you have created the app, you have to import this XML file. For that, what you can do is that we can do a import like this. You can run this importer and you can point to your XML file and just click the upload file and import. So once you have imported the XML file, you can see the initialize module over here inside your API modules, API apps modules. So let's open this initialize over here. So basically what this is doing, it's preparing an array and it's returning with a JSON response. That's what it do. So in this array you can see there is a URL. So currently the URL is example.com. So that's why while we are running our app, we are seeing that example.com. So let me basically first what let me do, we have this initialize, right? So let me hit this URL. So let me check what is the response is coming. It's example.com, and let me run this app. So as you can see, the example domain has been loaded already. So because in the response we are getting example.com. Now let's do one thing. We can simply change this to something else called google.com, because I tried before. That's why you are seeing, you initially saw that Google over there. So let's try and see the response. I still says example.com because I have to purge the cache. Now if I hit the API, I can see the google.com over here. Let me reload the emulator. Google has been loaded. Now let's change the response status to 513. Let me purge the cache. We can check the API response. It says 513 over here. Let's reload it. Now React Native Skeleton will show a maintenance screen. So you can change the response to 513 and it will make your application to show a maintenance screen. Let me revert it back to 200 and let's make some other change over here. So I'm just commenting it just to make this video more simpler. So let me change this version to 2.0.1. I will explain why I am doing it. The current version of this application is, if you open Android app build.gradle, current version is 2.0.0 and you have published the latest version into Play Store. And if you want your user to do a force update, then you can mention here your latest version is 2.0.1 and so in your API response you will get that 2.0.1 and our React Native skeleton will compare it and it will show a force update. So let's see how it's gonna look like. So it will show a message and you will be able to either exit or click update now. So in this way you can force your user to update your app. So let's see how we can put the Play Store URL in our app. So if you open the app.js, here you can see there is a constant here, so you can update with your package ID over here. So currently this is demo package IDs, you can update it with your package ID, your app package ID, and in that way you will be able to tell the user to do a force update. And here I have hard coded this 2.0.1, but you don't want to do like that. You can get it from your environment variable, or you can from or from settings. It's up to you how you want to show it. Now if I am reverting it back to 2.0.0, then nothing will happen over here. Again it's run, right? So what let me do is that because why it's still saying 2.0.1. Okay, let me pause the cache again. Let me hit it. Let's verify it. It's 2.0.0. Now the web view is being loaded. So in this way you can create a awesome enterprise app, and you can change the JSON response according to your need, and your app will respond to it. Thank you.